Hi guys, welcome to my first client story, episode number 3 with Karan. So I'm really happy and glad to invite Karan to this show because Karan is a good friend and even a person who is similarly traveling like me, having a community, is running a community called Digital Marketing Practitioners. Most of you watching this might be knowing it, but for some of them new, it might be helping. He's running a community called Digital Marketing Practitioners, and also works like a media buyer and also wearing different hats of marketing and experimenting with different stuff. So, Karan, welcome to my first client story.
Thanks. I think Godhan is a very unique, series. I've never heard someone, because when you posted about this, and I saw a lot of people commenting because they can relate. Suddenly they get into that, zone. First client. I know what went wrong. How did I acquire it? How hard I had to work to acquire it. So you're
Yeah,
doing a great job. I think, getting the memories, the nostalgia out of people, and that's a good thing because then you go back and you see how many mistakes we made and how far we have come in realizing how important it was. So yeah.
yeah, definitely, Karan. Because when I just posted it, there are many different comments coming up and all very interesting. Even one guy wrote about he got a client from OLX, and so, so there are different stories altogether. In the even the last episode we did with Mayank Jain was also interesting. Like he
Yeah.
met his first customer in a chai dukan.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so things are like for everyone it's a different story altogether. And your first client also is very interesting where you you could make your college professor your first client. That's very interesting. So guys, today's episode is going to be a lot of fun and a lot of learning also together. So it's purely infotainment, I can say, today whatever we are doing. This series is mainly we started this series. Main motive is like now, because many people may think that initially now they generally see big numbers and big figures on internet, and they see like now I'm nowhere near, I'm not as good as other guys, I'm hopeless, or maybe my fate is not good, whatever you might be thinking, so everyone starts uh, at a small level only. No one is going to be a Gary Vaynerchuk on day one. So we need to understand that, and we need to be persistent, because now there is no magic pill. See, someone is selling you a magic pill means it's just a get rich quick scheme, nothing else. So so I think Karan can relate with what I'm talking and saying.
Completely. I know these people
Yeah,
and how bad the industry has become in terms of managing expectations of clients. I think if you remember, I posted this, that it's an emergency. That if you don't control this thing, it might turn into something which is not good for everyone in the industry. So I think we should start something which can change the industry how it's functioning.
yeah, definitely. Even some of the clients and business owners approach because they are really confused about how to judge a marketer, because we get a lot of pitches, we get everyone pitching to us, but we don't know how to judge them, because it's very tough. Even for marketers to judge other marketers, it's really tough. So communities like us generally, niche marketers and DMP, are generally helping people.
And have a responsibility. I consider this. We both consider this as a responsibility towards industry's well-being.
Definitely.
Otherwise, what will happen? It will rot, and it will rot in a bad way.
Definitely, if you're able to promote credible marketers and help
Hmm.
business owners find them out, maybe that's the whole thing. We both are doing in different ways. Obviously, we both are trying
Exactly.
to do the same thing.
Exactly.
So Karan, so let us get to your story, and also it's very interesting that you got a professor as a first client. So how did it start, or how could you actually see there is an opportunity?
Correct. So the professor told me that he's into stock trading, and now he's thinking to train other people into crypto and stocks because that was a new thing. And India with the stock trading through digital platform like Zerodha and everything was growing. So we thought, why not? I shall go ahead and teach it to other people. So I was also one of his students, by the way. So in his stock trading course. So he said that I am coming up with a business, and that time I earned earned digital marketing from DSIM 2017. So I said that I've completed my course because he was teaching, and then he said, you know, uh, I have a business coming up. So I said, okay, fine. I've done digital marketing right now on websites. So I think you might need a website as well. So I mean, I can help you with it. So he said, okay, amazing. So then we went and into the college talking about it, how we can do it very well in terms of terms and everything. So before even talking about specifics, he talked about pricing. I said, let us give you the proposal first, and then we discuss how we take it forward. So then I've texted in my WhatsApp group, that because it's my first agency client, right? Everyone, we had co-founders, so everyone was excited that this is the professor we have got. So then we went ahead and we signed the. So we went home. I made the proposal and etc. So I also did the requirement study, as to what client wants.
What does
Exactly
it want?
what is the content of the site, etc. Submit the proposal for 20,000, and I thought he would negotiate and bring it down to 10, but for my surprise, he didn't negotiate at all, and we closed the deal at 20,000. So that's for the first project, and surprisingly, he gave it 50% off, not 50% off, sorry, the advance. He
50%
even took the
advance.
50% advance. That was the again miracle moment, because you never expect these things from Indian clients, that they would pay you from their own end 50% advance. That was my first experience. So then, okay, I said, we took the
Okay.
payment check. He gave the check.
That's an interesting thing. You also, while we were narrating about this thing, you told that he immediately said okay. So how did it work? Like, because now you proposed casually that you're starting a business, so you need to have a website. You told him. So how could he immediately believe you, or how could he trust you? Because how could you make him believe that you are the right person to do this? How did you do that actually?
Correct. So one thing which I had advantage was my co-founders were 50 plus, both of them.
Okay.
So both of them were in industry since long. Okay, so they had 30 years of corporate experience. So when I told them that these are my co-founders, so then he had, okay, now my website project is in safe hands. That was the first advantage as well.
Okay.
That built the trust. And then again, see, when you first time the professor starts to getting to know you, he sees that you are a serious person. So then he can trust me. I can trust you with my money. So that's the thing which built up. Again, he was a college professor, though he might have some bias towards the students. Get them design, and because he also got proposal from another company, I told you, right? So later he showed me. So but he chose us because I was able to sell well. I was able to sell well at a higher price, not at a lower price, but at the higher price. Yeah, that was the advantage. I showed him these.
Already he knows, at least he can easily ask or demand you when if things are going wrong, because already you have a connection, already you know each other well. That's one more advantage. So things work well, and so he also gave the advance. That's a good thing. So now, because the first time, so how did the things go from there, and how did the project go? What happened next after taking
Okay.
the project?
Yeah, disasters happened. Natural disasters happened. So it was the first project. So in the proposal, I asked during the requirement study. So in WordPress, when you create a website, there are two options: either you use a premium theme or you use a free theme. Okay. So client said, I want to use a free theme, because again, he didn't want to. He already paid us 20, and now he said, should I invest on that theme as well?
And themes are generally in dollars. That is one.
Correct, in dollars. They're not in rupees. And that time we didn't have any idea of group buying as well. That you can go on the site and group buy themes.
Yeah.
You weren't aware.
That's kind of an ecosystem as well that time.
Yeah. So then we started the project because I had other technical people who were working on the project. So we took around 20 days, and then we showed the website to a client, and the client was furious as hell. Okay, I mean, he took the screenshots of every page he could possibly take. He marked them as red as to what's happening here. Okay, where is the Google map? How have you designed it? right? I mean, where is this argument which had to come over here? So then he was furious. Then he sent an email, angry email, you know, that it's not happening. I had other proposals as well, which were your price and yours, but still I chose you, right? So I trusted on your project. So let me know if we are going ahead or should I scrap it. What should I do? So then my other co-founder, who was very good in handling customers when they are furious, so we replied them. So he was a bania as well. So both of them bania replied each other. So then he told that don't worry, we are sorry for the experience you had. Let us meet you, and we'll figure out how to get it back on track.
Yeah.
So then we went to his office, which was my other co-founders, because Bangalore may one area, if you have to travel to another area, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So he sacrificed his meetings, my other co-founder, because he was a real estate agent. So he had and that meeting was on Saturday. And on real estate agents on Saturday, they're the most busiest people. So he sacrificed that meeting. We then went, and then we prepared the plan as to what should we do now. Okay, then we went, and then now he understood the importance of a premium theme. Why I was talking about premium theme, right? So then we went, and then we took another 10 to 12 days to now finally give him the website he wanted, with the Google Maps, with everything, a good theme, which he can also manage himself. So what I learned from this whole experience was, and again, when it comes to, because we know that we have taken 50% payment, now what about the rest of the 50% which was yet to come? So I thought, okay, I think wo to jayega, ab to apna loss hi hai. So then client emailed back and said, I'm paying around 7,500 rupees to you, the balance payment, and cutting 2,500 because I could have cut the whole amount and shouldn't pay you because you didn't do the work well. But then he was generous enough, and that was a learning. He said, "This is a learning for you, that make sure you do the requirement study very well." I think that's the mistake which I would consider, because we didn't go into the specific of what you cannot do in a free theme.
Yeah.
Right? I told what can be done in a premium theme, but I didn't tell what can't be done in a free theme. So that's where we lacked, and I think the client also didn't understand very well. I think because they're not because the one thing which was there, he was an IT expert as well. He has worked in IT, I think, and finance in Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
So, but again, he also wasn't aware about the WordPress world.
Definitely, it's too different. People think that people think like see, आप कंप्यूटर में काम करते हो तो ये दो लोग एक चीज काम नहीं करता ना, like everything is too different, because we all assume that people might be knowing it, but and even I have many friends who are into software. I'm a hardcore mechanical engineer, and when I started talking about websites and all, I used to assume that they also might know something, and I used to ask them, and they said we had no clue what the hell are you talking. So that is how it is. And like I think for the experience you shared, there's a huge learning there. Especially WordPress websites or any website, when you take up the work, you need to be very clear. And I see some experienced website developers. What they do is they ask the client for any samples you want. You want your website to look like this, because what happens then, there is no chance of unlimited revisions. That's the problem, na? Because you say, अरे वो जो हम लोग साड़ी दुकान में जाते हैं ना, तो और दिखाओ टाइप का हालत नहीं हो जाता, मतलब.
You're very right. And then what happened after that? So he said, okay, fine. When he closed the project, and then he also gave us a good testimonial. You know why? Because then we actually apologized. We did the customer servicing very well. If we didn't do the delivery well, but we make sure the customer is happy. So because he also sacrificed the meetings. The other guy, the real estate, he came and then he met him. The project value was 20,000, but if that real estate guy could have closed a deal for, let's say, 1 crore, 2 crore, he could have made a commission of 5% or 2% on that deal, made 2-3 lakh rupees. But he chose to come and talk to the client, which was paying him 20,000 rupees for the whole project. And again, he's being the co-founder of company, he's obliged to, but he chose to. And I also went. So he then thought that, okay, these people are serious people. They didn't want to do it intentionally. It happened. It's a mistake. So that's where you also should consider that, client mistakes happen, but you shouldn't burn the bridges. If we would have burned the bridges, we wouldn't have got the amount back, 50% or the remaining. We wouldn't have got the good testimonial, and that kind also referred me to other kind later.
Yeah.
So
Ultimately,
that's the
when our intentions are good, now the mature mature business people,
correct.
they will understand that it's not like they'll understand if someone is really a fraud or he's making a mistake. People accept it because
Correct.
especially it's a subjective thing. WordPress websites or all these things. Now there can be a lack of understanding. Though you put everything perfectly in paper, also after that also there will be reasons. You can never
True.
expect that exactly what you make the client is going to accept. So it's an interesting story altogether, Karan. I think there are good learnings. Even like there's no bad place to pitch. So Karan has pitched to his professor. So guys, that is also a great learning to be.
Correct. Correct. Because then again, if the professor liked the work, he would refer to other professors as well. Because there are they have a good network. Don't think professors don't have a network. They don't have a good. I mean, their network is very huge. You never know from where you can get a big client from them. Because
Yeah,
professors, teachers
definitely.
stay connected with top people in the industry as well. So you shouldn't undermine those lead sources.
We can never ever know how you get a very good client. You can never ever know. So there are very different examples we can take. Like people, you never assume that this guy will connect you to be a very big company, or he'll
True.
get you a bit. It happens. It happens many times.
It happens.
That's the reason a good businessman always try to keep good relationships with everyone. They'll try to be friendly with everyone instead of यार मेरे क्या हो रहा है मेरे को क्या है जाने दो ना ऐसा ऐसा एटीट्यूड कभी नहीं रखते that's one attitude anyone who is actually into business should develop. And like you told, the client servicing part, like technicality is one thing, and communicating and keeping the client informed and meeting the client expectations is not client. If client knows it is going to get delayed, and if you tell it, sir ऐसा ऐसा कर रहे हैं सर 2 दिन डिले हो रहा है, आप 2 दिन पहले बोल देने से ना, मतलब वो पूछने से पहले आप बोल देना, उसका फर्क अलग रहता है. एंड यू से आस्किंग व्हेन ही इज आस्किंग यू ना, देन यू से सर अभी नहीं हुआ सर, थोड़ा लेट होगा बोलने से, देन ही इंप्रेशन विल बी डिफरेंट ऑल टुगेदर.
That goes a negative route then he then starts searching for other people.
Yeah. So Karan, that was an interesting story. So guys, I think you could take some interesting learnings from Karan's first time story. So though Karan is doing good in his this thing, he's taking big projects, working for big things right now. He has started with something, but one good thing is as a student also he started he was interested in taking up some entrepreneurial stuff, started working on it. And opportunities generally sometimes they come up and you should take. Some people, what people think na, some people think like सब सेट करूंगा, ऑफिस बनाऊंगा, उसके बाद मेरे को क्लाइंट्स आएगा.
They fail badly because they didn't focus on the core thing, which is sales. They didn't focus on the core thing, which is why should client choose you? He won't choose you because seeing your office. If he should have chosen looking at the office, he would have gone to Wipro and all Infosys, because they also handle digital projects, right? They have big offices. Why didn't the client go there and give the project to Wipro or any big IT company?
There are clients looking for all kinds of people. So even people shy away to share a case study. When I was talking to some guys in the community about sharing a case study, I told you share a case study, it will help you a lot. Then they were saying, no, I don't have a big case study, that big numbers. Told, see, not everyone is looking for big numbers. If you have big numbers, people also will think that this guy will charge more, I can't go to this guy. There are clients who have, because don't try to be someone else, be what you are. That's how you
main thing of case studies to learn from mistakes. What mistakes you did, what were your thing. Numbers though, anyone can even fabricate the numbers.
Yeah.
He's not showing you in his analytics live, right? Okay, look at the analytics. This is the number. I don't care. I care about what you did in terms of strategy and what mistakes you made. So I won't do that mistakes in my project, or I would take that strategy and apply in my project.
Definitely.
No one cares about the numbers. No one cares about the numbers.
And the case study, based on that, some business owners may be thinking like, this guy has spent a budget of 10,000 or 20,000 rupees per month, and he's able to get some ROI. So I am a kind of business owner who can bear that budget. So I'll be okay to work with this guy. Or else if you're talking about 1 lakh or 2 lakhs rupees per month budget, and then the client will definitely have a disconnect. यार ये तो 2 लाख की बात कर रहे हैं यार, हमारा काम लेगा कि नहीं लेगा क्या पता.
Correct. That's where I think it's a big mistake.
Disconnect will happen. So Karan, I think we had good learnings from your first time story. It was an interesting story altogether. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Anything you want to tell to the beginners who are trying the starting journey, and any other ways you suggest, like approaching for leads? Any suggestions you want to give to the new?
Okay, sure. If you're beginning, don't try and run Facebook ads to get clients. Don't believe in people who say you need a proper landing page, you need a proper funnel to be built up, you need a proper case study to start. You just need to look around in your circle and you just need to approach. That's how sales happens, right? You approach people, you say that you have a problem, I can solve it. Even if you want to do it at a minimal fee, say you charge say you charge 10,000, I will do it for 5,000 for you. Straight 50% slash of discounts, take the project, get the testimonial. Okay, the main important thing is testimonial, because looking at testimonial, the next guy would give you the project, and then you can charge any amount you want.
Yeah,
simple. So that's one way. The second way is you can approach, let's say, businesses who you already know or have talked about. Like I think Mayank was saying, he was just heard someone say, that
Facebook
marketing. So you take that as an opportunity, right? Someone, let's say you're in a store, a good store, and someone says, यार सेल्स कम हो गई है, या तो ऐसे लोग बोलते हैं ना, यार धंधा अच्छा नहीं चल रहा है, ऐसे लोग बोलते हैं. So these are the signals the market is giving you that, okay, let me see what I can do for this client. He's saying come. So I can market for you. Let's say I could do first 15 days for free, or let's first month it's free for you. Let us test out. If it works, we then enter into a agreement and contract.
Yeah, I think those are very, very important and interesting tips. Never shy away, because
never shy away.
Business mein to kabhi bhi. And one more thing also, I think in the last episode also we talked about the same thing. Is like not everyone will say yes to your proposal. So you think 10 out of 10, maybe 2 only will say yes. It should be very, very much okay. That's how I think we should take it.
Correct.
Okay, Karan. Then thank you for all the time and also the inputs. Thank you very much, Karan. Bye.
Thank you.